It is said that power is transient.
Those given the opportunity to wield it must do so with greater responsibility. In today's world, the power of regimes often seem unshakable, especially when led by authoritarian figures. In the brutal landscape of power and conflict, the rule of even the most entrenched regimes can falter. For over 2 decades, Bashar al-Assad ruled Syria with an iron fist, clinging on to power even in the face of mass uprising, global sanctions, and an all-out civil war. But in the end, with the fall of the Assad regime, it is clear that not even despots are immune to the forces of history.
On the 8th of December 2024, years of brutal war.
As the world watches over Syria's long road from tyranny to transformation, many African nations face their own struggles with power, governance, and the very real questions of whether their leaders, some in office for decades, can avoid the same fate. Well, Assad's regime is a cautionary tale. Despite his brutal tactics, he ultimately faced resistance, both internal and external, that he couldn't suppress forever. His story reminds us that power, no matter how absolute, is always fragile. African leaders must understand that longevity in power isn't guaranteed. The dynamics of governance are constantly shifting, and societies evolve, economies change, and international influence become more unpredictable. No ruler can afford to ignore these realities for too long. Across Africa, leaders like Uganda Yoweri Museveni and Cameroon's Paul Biya have ruled for decades. Yet the calls for democratic change and accountability have never been louder. From Nigeria to Kenya and all the way to Mozambique, the winds of change are sweeping across the continent. Youth-driven movements are challenging the status quo, pushing for reforms and demanding greater political accountability. Indeed, Bashar al-Assad's survival for as long as he did was based on a mix of military loyalty, foreign support, and brutal repression. But his ultimate vulnerability lied in the failure to adapt to changing internal and external conditions. African leaders must take heed. Long-term power doesn't mean invincibility. The tide of history can turn quickly, and when it does, no regime, no matter how powerful, can hold on forever. The rise of social media, an increasingly connected world, and the growing demand from the younger population are putting African leaders under pressure. The Assad regime, despite being able to silence internal dissent for years, was ultimately unable to quell the revolution fueled by the Syrian people's desire for change. In Africa, the youth are realizing that change is possible. The message is clear. They are no longer accepting leaders stay in power indefinitely. Just like Assad, some African leaders believe that they can hold on to power forever, but they underestimate the power of the people, especially when the people are united. The fall of the Assad regimes after decades of clinging onto power is a clear writing on the wall that indeed, even despotism is transient. Bashar al-Assad's survival came at a great cost, but history has shown that even the most entrenched regimes are subject to change. The fall of Assad should serve as a lesson for African leaders that power may be held tightly today, but the future is never certain. Adaptation, accountability, and engagement with the people are key to survival in an ever-changing world. Across the world, political landscapes are shifting. From Syria's collapse to Africa's growing call for change, the lesson is clear: no regime is permanent. It is up to the leaders to act with wisdom before their regimes become a relic of the past. Do you think our African current presidents are taking heed? Please let us know in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button below and leave a like.